Welcome. I haven't done a live video for so long. Now, the reason why I stopped was because the internet here isn't that great in that I have internet. So, hey, it's good. I have internet. But it tends to pixelate. So if this pixelates, we'll just go with the flow, and you can still listen and you can still chat. So feel free to join in the conversation. And even if you're watching the replay, if you've got any comments, please leave them below and I'll come back and check them. So welcome along. For those of you who don't know who I am, my name's Kathryn Eggins, and I specialise in the law of attraction and manifesting and teaching people how to manifest, what they want into their lives. And it's actually been a very interesting journey for me, and I see it being a very interesting journey for other people too, because manifesting what you want is not actually that hard, but as humans we make it hard. So it's working through all of those blocks and different things that we have, and just finding the way to do it with ease, and to find the way to have fun and just to have joy in our lives. It's there's not a lot of people having fun and joy, and so one of the things that I want to do is make manifesting fun, which we all know it is anyway, but fun, magical, and just something that you can have a lot of fun with. And that the more that you do that, then the easier it's going to be to manifest what you want. And then you get more joy and you get more fun and more magic in your life. So I've really taken the attitude of just being lighthearted about life and finding joy in everything. And honestly, it makes such a big difference. When things feel like they're not going to plan, finding the joy and finding something fun to think about, but finding the joy, or finding the best feeling you can find at the time, depending on what's happening. And and just finding joy as often as possible. That's one of the secrets. So I have lots of secrets to share, but tonight I just wanted to talk about values. Now, what I choose to talk about is usually things that have come up from time to time, because I'm always learning. I'm always doing courses and extra study, and something will come up and I'll research it. And just a tip with regard to that too. I actually find that if something's not quite going right with my body, that if I research it and find out how it works within my body, then I can heal it. So I can find a happy place for it and find a way of healing it. So I'll do another live stream on that another time, but it's very, very powerful stuff. The more stuff that you can learn and implement, then knowledge is power, and you have more control over your life. So I highly recommend it. And I'm doing that every day. I'm learning something new every single day, whether it's through a course or my own course of studies. So the thing that's come up for me just recently is values. That's come to the forefront again. We are guided through our life. So if you're watching this video, you've been guided to watch this video, and that goes for any video that you're watching, or any message that you might get on Facebook, might pop up in your news feed, anything like that. It's a guidance, and these are the things that we need to look out for to give us signs of the direction we need to go and head in, and for answers. The answers are right there in front of us, and we don't see them until we're ready to. So values have just popped up again. It's something that's always been there in the background, but I just needed to hear the message in this past week. And so that's what I wanted to share with you, because values are so important, especially when it comes to manifesting the life that you want. Now, the thing with values is that they're really what you live your life by. So if you're not really aware of your values, then you can't really start manifesting what you want, because there might be a value that you have that's quite high, and that's the standard you're living your life by, and you're trying to manifest something else, but this other value is going to take the priority. One incident where I have actually seen this a few times, and that comes up where somebody's trying to manifest one thing like a career or a lifestyle or something like that, but in their value system, their family rate's really, really high. And family rate's really high with a lot of people. But the problem with that, if you want to call it that, is that all of their decisions are then based on their family. You know, how that decision, having that career or that lifestyle, how that would affect their family. So their family unit is more important. That's fine. There's no right or wrong with values as to what your values are, but if they're not in line with what you're trying to manifest, then you need to realign your values as to what you want and really look at them and get them in the order that you want to manifest in. So one thing when this came up for me, so I went to a seminar last weekend and it came up in the seminar, and the thing that I realised was that in my list of values, my health value had actually slipped down a little bit because for a while there, for about 5 years, I did personal training, and I love group fitness. So I was in there doing group fitness all the time. So I was doing that 5 days a week. And so as a result, my body got pretty fit and healthy and, eating well and all that kind of thing. And I've still been eating well, but since I stopped doing personal training, it was almost like I just went, I just want to have a break. And as a result, things started to slip. And it wasn't until I was at this seminar the other day, I thought, you know what, I've really got to realign my health values because they were starting to slip. And health is something that's very important to me because if you know my story, I was really sick for like 18 years. And through changing my mindset and using law of attraction techniques and also having somebody hold the space for me to actually listen to what I was going through, that all of that combined, my body healed. And according to the doctors, that shouldn't have happened, but it did. So that was 2009 that happened. And so since then, my health has improved all the way. So to actually go from being really sick to being really well and really healthy, that holding on to that is really important for me. But I've got into a place now where I don't have to desperately hold on to it. I just need to keep it as a high value and keep a high standard. It's raising your standards to being what you want. So it's me keeping a high standard and expecting to be healthy and well. And I started to look at photos of myself recently going, and don't really like the way that's heading. So I've got back into fitness and feeling really good. And my main reason for doing fitness is looking good. That's high on my priority list and my value list. I think that's not being conceited or anything like that. I do think that I do think it's important to want to look good. So that's one of the reasons why I enjoy working out, but also just feeling good, having a strong body. And like when I teach yoga, because I'm still teaching yoga, I did that tonight, and it feels great actually. It's like you get into the class and it's like, oh, it's the hour up already. I'm really enjoying this. I just want to stay here. But just the space that it gets you into. But being able to hold these poses easily and having good balance, and it's one thing that really surprises me is the people that are 10, 15, 20 years younger than me that have bad balance and they just brush it off, go, my balance is not good, and that goes for any age. To me, balance is so important, and for me to have a strong body that's free of aches and pains and can do things, gives me a quality of life. That is important, and that is why I exercise. And it's, I have to bring that value back up higher and raise my standards. That's really what it's all about with values, is raising your standards. What do you expect for yourself? And saying, I'm not going to settle for anything less. I'm just going to stick at this is where my value sits. It's up here, you know, and that's what I want for myself. So I highly recommend sitting down with yourself. And it's always just check with yourself, make sure you're free, you've got some time, sit down with yourself and assess your values, where your values are at, and be honest with yourself. It's another thing that I see a lot of people when they're doing the inner work is the fear of actually digging deep and being honest with themselves, because the honest answer will be completely different to how they've been living, and that's because they've been living on someone else's terms. And then it's, you know, like, say any kind of relationship that you're living a certain way because of the other person in the relationship, but deep down inside you feel something else, and then that's going completely against what the other person believes. And that can be quite confronting for people at times. That's perfectly fine, it's perfectly normal, but then you need to assess, well, what do I actually want to achieve with my life? Do I want to keep living my life on their terms, or do I actually want to live my life on my terms and live it the way that I want? Because honestly, if you don't, you get to the end of your life and you say, that was great, but then you have regrets because you don't regret the things you did do, you regret the things you didn't do. So have a look at your values. Just be totally honest with yourself as to where they're sitting, like I did with admitting to myself that my health value had started to slip, and then going, all right, well, I've got to get it back up there, because if you become aware of where your values sit, then you have more control and more power over what you can manifest in your life, because you become aware of what's going on. You need to be aware of what's going on inside to actually manifest what you want on the outside, because until you do that, you'll just keep manifesting what you don't want, because you're focusing on the external rather than focusing on and controlling the internal. Very, very powerful stuff. And you know, it really depends on how deep your beliefs go and how much you want to hold on to them. And that can be something where you're going, I don't really want to hold on to this, but deep down inside something's still holding on to it. So it's, you know, manifesting what you want in your life, it really depends on your beliefs, how deep-seated they are and how long it takes you to work through them. Could happen in 5 minutes, could take a year or 2 or 3 or whatever, but keep moving forward, keep working through it. As long as you're aware of what's going on, then you hold all the cards. You have the power. So do the inner work, get in there and take control of what's happening in your life. Don't focus on what's going on the outside, focus what's going on in the inside, and really get to the bottom of those values, because they are really the answer to why you're manifesting what you want and not why you're not manifesting what you want. That and your beliefs. They're the two things that just get so ingrained, and it's really getting to the bottom of them and digging them out and getting them out and realigning with what you do want. So raise your standards, become aware of what your values are, and you know, if a value is not where you want it to be, then look at how you can get it to where you want it to be. What do you need to do internally to get that to where you want to be? And if one value is taking more priority, then that's perfectly fine. But you know, and be okay with that if that's where you want that priority to, or that value to sit. But don't get annoyed that it's affecting the other values, because that's what you're choosing. You know, you will always make a decision based on your values. So if your family values are high and a career decision comes up, say you've got the chance to travel overseas with your career, but by doing that, that's going to take you away from your family. Well, then you will base your decision on whether to accept that or not on your family values. So it's, you know, and for other people, family doesn't rate as high. And so as a result, a decision regarding their family, if their career is more important, you know, of a higher value, then they're going to make a family decision based on their career values, how that's going to affect their career. And there's nothing wrong with that. That doesn't make them a bad person. You know, it's I find a lot of emphasis is placed on family values, and for some people they are really important, and for other people they're not as important, and that's perfectly fine. Wherever you sit, that's perfectly fine. But if you want to manifest something and it doesn't align with your values, then you really need to look at your values and where they sit, and maybe you need to change them. Maybe you need to raise your standards in another area to bring that value up higher, and then you'll start having a bit more control over what you're manifesting in your life. So in the end, it's all up to you, and it really comes down to being honest with yourself to actually what is really going on inside, rather than just brushing off or being not willing to look, of actually being honest and going, you know what, this is what I really feel, and that's okay. And if you do want to change that, then work on changing it. So I have a program, if you're interested. It's called Unleash Your Manifesting Mojo, and I go right into all these details about the inner work that you need to do, environment, everything that you need to do and to be aware of to manifest the life that you want. I'm currently putting some extra bonuses together, so if you get in now, you'll get those extra bonuses free of charge. It is a program that I'm continually working on, and not every day, but I am continually working on it and coming up with new ideas for it. So it is a program that I want to expand. So if you get in now, you will get all the updates, and because the more it expands, then the price is going to go up as it expands. So I highly recommend getting in now, because then you can get started. You know, the longer you leave it, then the longer it's going to take. So get in now, get in on the ground floor, because then you'll get all the updates, and you know, down the track it's going to be an even more amazing program. I think it's already an amazing program, but yeah, with the information in it and how it can help you with your life and all that kind of stuff. So get in there. It's I'll put the link in the comments when I'm finished here. So I've got some bugs. There's bugs that come in through. There's a little gap somewhere, and they're coming in and they're flying around my light, and they're landing on my face. But that's all right. So let me know your thoughts, leave your comments below, and I'll come back and check on them later. But thank you very much for watching, and I look forward to coming online a lot more, because I do enjoy doing lives, I enjoy doing videos, and I am working on getting out there to do some speaking as well. So I look forward to bringing the message out there to the masses that you can create the life that you want. It all starts within, and all it takes is for you to do the inner work and to believe that what you want is possible. So get in there, grab Unleash Your Manifesting Mojo and get started, because nothing will change until you do. You can't keep doing the same thing over and over and over again and expect different results. It just won't happen. So get in there, take the plunge and get started. Thank you very much. I shall catch you again soon, and in the meantime, follow your heart, follow your dreams, and don't let anybody stop you. I'll catch you next time. Bye.